Hello, Dr. Ron Eaglin here. This is going to be one of the videos that you really like. I'm going to show you how to take a web, some sort of application that you've written on the web in HTML and JavaScript and convert it to a compilable phone application. For in this case, we'll do Android, but we can also do iOS. So the application I'm going to show you, I have this in a JS Fiddle. This is a small application that I built called IC Cards game, and essentially it's a game meant to be played in a car where you're looking for specific objects, and if you click on an object it will increment your score. So if I see a chicken, I can click on that and it says I saw a chicken, it was worth 4 points. Okay, or you can actually trade off these individual cards and say, well, I don't think there's any chance I'm going to see a baseball field, trade it, and then it brings up the balloons. And I've got lots of these different cards that are available, but the concept is to make this into a compilable game that I can be played on a phone. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a tool called PhoneGap. And PhoneGap is a tool produced by Adobe that really does work primarily towards creating applications using your not JavaScript and HTML. So if you've got PhoneGap installed, very easy, PhoneGap.com, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to create a project. So I'm going to create a new PhoneGap project, and I'm going to actually put this in, pick a location, and I actually have a projects file, so I'll make a new folder called IC Cards to be the name of the place that I'm going to put this. Okay. And the name of the project will be the IC Cards game. And I'm going to do this. This is like basically a backwards URL. I'm going to create, this is going to be com.roneaglin.ic cards. It's the URL backwards. So if I was to do iccards.roneaglin.com, that would be the project URL. And I'm going to create this project. So first thing I need to do, I have this game. I'm going to go ahead and get it up and operational. So I'm going to click on the go ahead and start to get this thing going. And it's going to bring the server online. And it's basically created a shell at this point. All right, so I had to actually close and reopen PhoneGap to get the server running. I had stopped the server and I wasn't, when I reopened it, restarted the server. So I'm actually going to start this version here is what the server is going to be running on. So you also need to go out to, I'm going to use an Android phone, and you're going to get to see this in here, the Android phone. And I have an Android, and if I go to the Play Store and download the PhoneGap developer application, it will be installed on my phone. So I'm going to be able to test this. Now, if you look at it, you'll notice that it actually has a Connect. Now, I could use an emulator on my desktop, which might be easier for you to see, but this is going to be available now. And one of the things I got to do is connect. And I have to make sure that my URL for my server address matches. So I hit connect. It'll go through and start connecting, download, and then hopefully extract the game, which is, by the way, not the game yet. It's just going to be the default application. I have to turn it into the game on my phone. So we're going to pause while we wait for that to occur. And it is now done. And what you'll see is a screen that looks like this. The PhoneGap is ready. Okay, well, guess what? That's great, it's ready, but that's not the application we want. So now I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you how to make it the application that you want. So now let's move the PhoneGap out of the way, and I'm going to go ahead and bring up File Explorer because I want to show you where to put this. Now, I told it to put it in my Documents, PhoneGap, Projects, IC Cards. And if you look here, you'll actually see something that should look relatively familiar to you, essentially a website. And in www, you've got real files for your website, CSS, IMG, JS, all those files that you would actually see in a regular website. Because what this is if I bring up index.html here, which I'm going to, by the way, bring up in Visual Studio, since I like to use the Visual Studio editor, you're going to see that it's just a standard HTML page, and that HTML page is the page that's actually creating this PhoneGap here. So while this is Visual Studio does take a couple seconds to bring up, chugga. Anybody who watches my videos know where I got that from. It's opening the file now. Slowly, because I've got a lot of things running right now. I've got PhoneGap and my server and my recorder and just a lot of stuff going on right now on my computer. But it should be able to pop up here in a second. And I'll pause again. Oh wait, no, so I didn't want you to have to wait too long. Okay, so now that index.html is actually a HTML page right here. And for example, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to wipe out the style sheet. I don't want that style sheet anyway, so I'm going to wipe it out and I'm going to save it. And what will happen, and PhoneGap actually updates automatically to the phone. That's going to, oh, you know what? I'm also going to wipe out this H1. I don't want it. Bye-bye. I don't want this connecting to device. I don't want this device is ready. I want all that gone. So I'm going to actually remove all that from the file and save the file off. And I should see it update over here. Hang on. It should update on my phone. Yeah, it was good I didn't make you wait for all that. But now what you got on my phone, which was a PhoneGap screen before, is now a blank screen. So we're going to do a few things here, and it's not going to be a blank screen forever. I'm going to set my phone back down, and I'm going to now go over to the code that I want to pull in, and I'm going to pull it in. This is in JS Fiddle, so if you're familiar with JS Fiddle, you should be familiar with the different parts of JS Fiddle. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the HTML, and I'm going to go down here into the body of the HTML here, and I'm going to go ahead and paste that. Now, I ended up with some duplicate body tags, so I'm going to get rid of one, but I do actually want this onload here. So I'm going to take this onload from the body tag that I just pasted in, and I'm going to put it into this body right here. I didn't get rid of everything, but I got rid of most everything. Then I don't need this body tag anymore, and now I don't need this body tag down here. So essentially, I just pasted the HTML from JS Fiddle into the body of my index, which was the PhoneGap project. Okay, well, so far so good. I've got a few other things I need to bring over. Over here is my JavaScript. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this, and I'm going to take it, and I'm going to paste it. And it's a script, so all I need to do is wrapper it into some script tags. Voila. Okay, now I've gone ahead and pasted it in. Okay. Next step, I'm going to go ahead and save that. But my next step is I do actually want to have some styles here, but the styles I want to bring are actually the ones from the game. So I'm going to go over here to the game and take it, and now I'm going to go ahead and put it into the head. I had that old one. I'm going to go ahead and make another style. I'm going to put some style tags here, and I'm going to throw all that styling into there. Control V, paste it right in there, and I'm going to save it off. So now I've actually saved off the from my JS Fiddle. When I've done all my coding, I've taken the body and pasted it into the body, the JavaScript, put it inside some script tags in the index.html, my styling, and I've put that there. And I can now move this out of the way. Here's all the code that I have that goes with this, and I'll actually post this code on the page that goes with this application. And, okay, so now that's all done. Now all I have to do is get it to update on my phone. I'm going to go back to my phone. I'm going to pause because it has been taking a little bit of time to do the update on the phone. And we now return. Now, my phone. This is not a browser. This is the PhoneGap app. If you can see my phone, the cards are right there. But not only that, but I can go and I can click on them, and they will update. They will change, and I can click the trade. The entire thing works just like it did in the web browser. Well, what's the beauty of this? Well, one thing I have to do is, obviously, if I'm going to have this thing for a phone, I'm going to need to go into my CSS file, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have to make some changes into the sizes so it can fit inside of a phone screen. But that's relatively straightforward, and it utilizes any expertise that you have in dealing with an actual CSS and HTML. So you now have your application here in an index file. The whole application in one file here that is now available from PhoneGap. Now, In this lecture, we're not going to cover all the steps necessary to compile this into a phone app, but I'm going to go through and do some styling and stuff, and that will be one of the upcoming. So far, what I have done, just in review, I have taken something I had in JS Fiddle as an application that I wrote using JavaScript and HTML that was designed for a web page. I have taken a program called PhoneGap. I have now installed it on I installed the PhoneGap on my computer and the PhoneGap developer on my phone. I have gone ahead and made a game, made a game from the game that I actually had in my JS Fiddle, put it into PhoneGap, put it into the PhoneGap developer on my phone, and now it's ready to be, not completely ready because I want to do some styling with this, but it will be ready to convert into an app that I can compile and put onto the Android App Store. Hopefully this was awesome.